When a narcissist is raging, are they actually feeling that rage? Well, the answer really is I don't know, but possibly not. I mean, we know that, in clinically diagnosed narcissists of the Schulz study, there were grey matter deficits in the right anterior insular cortex, left anterior insular cortex, and a number of other chief self-referential processing areas. We know that. But do we know that the emotional deficit is actually total? We know it's very severe. It must be, because the left anterior insular cortex was the region with the most severe deficits, and that region is really for evaluating emotional experiences which are felt. And as it was the most impoverished, what can that tell us? Well, it means by and large, given the use it or lose it principle of neuroscience, that if an area isn't being used, it will atrophy. As this is developmental, it indicates that the left anterior insular cortex was not being used because emotional signal was just not reaching it in any kind of significant way. Some will actually point to the idea that other parts of the brain can kind of take over if something goes wrong. Well, of course, there's got to be willingness for that to happen. And safety and provision, isn't that the sort of case for a child, right? So the other areas that would have taken up the slack, like the cingulate cortex and the prefrontal structures, they didn't do that either. They too appear to present with grey matter deficits, implying loss of functionality, implying not being used. So it's not as if the brain is struggling towards trying to hold on to emotional experience. It appears, if we kind of analyze it, that quite the opposite was happening. The brain was struggling to run away from emotional experience. I use the word struggle there. It seems that they achieved that aim. So when you see them raging, when you see them crying, when you see them laughing, when you see signs of emotionality, does any of that actually mean they're feeling anything? Not necessarily. In fact, given that I expect that most of those patients with narcissistic personality disorder express emotion all the time, well, perhaps we could infer that actually none of them can. Feel, that is. Perhaps they don't. I don't think they do. The evidence suggests that they don't. That emotionality and felt emotion for a small child, even at that unconscious level at that very early age, might have been something that was just so terrifying that they had to just turn away from it. The psychoanalysts would agree. So there they could be, really truthfully, raging, laughing, crying, doing all these different things that normal human beings do, and genuinely coming from an emotional place.